This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Special thanks to Sphere Rocket VA for connecting me to another icon for the Icon podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and please join me in welcoming Kerry to the show today.
Hello.
Excited
to be here. Thank you.
Yes, we're excited to get to know about you, and let's just get started on that then, okay? So we talked a little bit that you're in Colorado, but where are you from? What market are you in now? And how did you wind up in real estate?
Well, I am originally from Nebraska, grew up on a farm there, and then got married really, really young. And we moved to Colorado in 1989 to Denver, lived here a few years, had a son, ended up moving back to Nebraska for a little bit. And then we just missed Colorado so much. So we came back in 99 and we've been here ever since. So in the Denver area. And then as far as getting into real estate, when we moved back here in 99, our kids were really small, 7 and 1. And it was something that I was always interested in. And I went to an informational meeting about it, and I was just like, yes, this is me. This fits perfectly. I want to do this. And I got my license in like 2 weeks. I just hit it really hard and never looked back. I'm still loving it every day, 21 years later. So
first of all, license in 2 weeks. Incredible. I'm working on my license currently, and I'm like chipping away at it a little at a time. And there's a lot of information to take in. And then I totally get the leaving Colorado and coming back. Those Rocky Mountains are intoxicating. You just can't seem to get that out of the system. That's awesome. I like the story.
Yeah.
So it's all history. You've been in real estate since then. But did you start with EXP, or what brokerage did you start with? And how did you make that switch? Because jumping from any brokerage is very difficult.
It is. And so originally I was with a company that I don't think they're even around anymore. It was called Frontier GMAC. And that's where I had heard about real estate, went to that informational meeting and signed up with them. And it was a great company. Loved the people I worked with. They got bought out actually by Coldwell Banker. And a lot of people in our office, there was a couple of people that started a new company, and back then it was called Home Real Estate. So went over there just like that small office kind of feel. A lot of good people that worked there, and then HomeSmart acquired Home Real Estate. So I was with that same company for 17 years. Happy, fine, it was great, whatever, and not really looking to make a change, but got introduced to EXP. And it was kind of funny because we had went to a HomeSmart convention actually, and which is where I very first heard about conversion KV Core. And I was like, wow, this is a pretty cool CRM. Maybe we should be checking into this. And my daughter-in-law works with me also, and she was at the conference with me. So we were kind of excited about KV Core. And then just happened like a couple days later, I'm talking to somebody about EXP, and they're like, well, we have KV Core. That's our CRM. And I was like, what? Because that was like crazy expensive. And they're like, yeah, you get it for $50 a month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's worth moving right there. And then the more I found out about EXP, I was just like, this is a no-brainer. Like, we just need to go. This company is truly, truly life-changing. It has been amazing. And since moving to EXP, the last 2 years have been my best ever in real estate. And I'll be with EXP actually 3 years, April 1st. So just coming up on the 3-year anniversary, and it's been incredible. This company, I always feel like I start talking about it and I get all excited and I could just throw it up all over everybody all the time because there's just so many things. I mean, there's just so much. It's amazing. I love it.
Well, lucky for you, throw up all you want on this podcast. That's what it's about. It's about you and your journey with EXP. And that's really cool. You saw that EXP. Well, first of all, you didn't even see EXP. You saw an asset that EXP has, you're like, man, I'm really into this. And somebody's like, well, we have that here. And guess
Yeah.
what else we have here?
Yeah.
So, you saw that they had options. You saw that they had the tools that you needed as a real estate agent. But now that you're over here, what else have you fallen in love with? There's stock options, there's revenue share, there's collaboration, or are you still just here for that original asset that you?
No, it is so, it has evolved into so much. And every day I'm like, oh my gosh, I flippin' love this company. It's just so amazing. So collaboration, I feel like that's probably a word that gets a little overused, but I mean, this company, it's incredible. And I really think that's why I'm like having so much success here and had the best 2 years I've ever had in 21 years. I mean, like by far, like doubling production and everything, because we're just able to tap into so many icons and people that are so willing to help. I've never seen a company like that over all of these years. You see other successful people at companies, and you ask them, how are you doing that or whatever, and they're not always that willing to share. And I feel like at EXP,
gets to their chest.
They share. It's such a like pay it forward kind of mentality, I feel like. And anybody that I reach out to, even as busy as they are, they're always like willing to share, willing to help. How can I help? What do you need? What can I tell you? You want to build a team? I'll tell you how to build a team. Like just everything. I mean, it's been so amazing. And I'm like, some of the people I know, they must get, 2,000 text messages a day, yet I still get a response. It's incredible. And so to me, that has probably been the biggest surprise for me since moving over, because they kind of talked about it and touched on it, but I didn't realize how impactful that would be on my career. And just, and now I'm doing now I actually have people texting me, asking me questions, and I'm like, I'm really not that cool, but okay, sure, I'll try to help you and tell you what I know, and it makes you feel so good too, just to be able to share all of that. And the culture at EXP too, like a lot of people say, well, you're not brick and mortar. How do you have any kind of culture? You do everything virtually. And yes, we do a lot of stuff virtually, but there's so many agents like here in Denver that we all get together. We do events together. I probably see more agents more now than I did when I was at a brick and mortar company, because we're like making a point to do things and getting together. We all have fun. There's like so many great agents, and everybody's just looking to like has that how can I help you attitude, and it just makes it so fun. So again, there's like, when they say putting the fun back in real estate, they really do. We are just having like the best time, and you look forward to, it's like, oh good, I get to see, Corey and Heather and Kathy and all these people this weekend. It'll be amazing. Like, it's so fun. They're just great people to be around, and we get to watch them, and we're all helping each other, and it's amazing. It's really amazing.
The culture is truly what, shines so bright about EXP. And one of the first icons I had the pleasure of interviewing, they said that here at EXP, you learn, you earn, and then you return. And I loved that, about how you take it all in, you lean into your mentors, then you kind of get the hang of things, and then suddenly people are thinking you're the cool one reaching out to you.
Go figure.
Of course. And so, I always like to share that quote from him because it's so true, and people love that. And, it's so infectious about the EXP community.
Yeah, it really is.
It's fantastic, because it's so scary how one toxic person can take it all down. And at EXP, it's like, if you don't want to come over here, we don't want you anyway. Like, we would love to tell you about it. Like, if you don't think you're the right fit, you're probably not.
That's right. It's not for everybody. It may or may not be for you, but the ones like, that's what I say. I want to bring people over that are super excited to be here because I'm so excited. And then when you get a bunch of excited people together, the energy is incredible. And the things that we can accomplish is amazing. And I just, I love it.
You're so right, Kerry. And that culture is just, it's so fun. And we'll dive back into it here in a couple questions about, how you're giving back to the EXP culture. Because, as an icon agent, they really value that. It's not just an award for how many sales you do or, just being the agent that you are, but they really dive into who you are. Mm-hmm. And we'll dive back into that. But, Kerry, you stay busy. You said that you like to keep in contact with these agents in your area, and you're running around and Colorado, that's not an easy truck going to Denver all the time and, running all over the place with the mountain roads. So how do you take care of Kerry? You got high production. How do you make sure you're not on burnout mode? How do you make sure that work life is balanced for you?
That's something that I did not learn until I came to EXP, but now I know how to do time blocking and, learning from agents that have inspired me, just saying, you got to make sure you time block for personal time too, because if you don't, somebody will always want to do something, see a house or have you come look at something or want to have a phone call or whatever. So, those personal appointments are just as important as your professional appointments. And, real estate, it's a 7-day-a-week job. And so you really do have to schedule for that because it's just, otherwise you won't get it done. It's like, if it's not on the calendar, you won't do it. And so if I block out that time and I can have family time, we have 2 grandkids now. And so just having time to spend with them and making sure, that appointment to take those little girls to the park is just as important as going to show 4 houses to a buyer. So just that time blocking, that has really, really helped me. And another thing that EXP has offered is some coaching. I never really tapped into coaching before. And so that was amazing. And they're the ones that really taught me how to time block and gave me examples and didn't just say, here, you need to time block. It was like, no, let me show you my calendar. Here's what I do. You can make it your own. Here's how you can do some different things, getting great ideas, and then just being able to implement those. It's huge. Again, that we always come back to collaboration, but that's where I learned so much. So.
And it's okay, to time block. Don't feel like you're missing out time because for, the way that you recharge as an agent, that helps you be your best self in front of your clients, in front of your colleagues, in front of your mentees, your mentors. So have no shame in that, take pride in, taking those grandbabies to the park. Of course, they're only little for so long. So you have to make sure to
exactly
that time, which is really important. And it's really good advice. If you don't know how to time block, and you're listening right now, reach out to your mentor, reach out to your coaches, reach out to Kerry, and just get a quick lowdown.
Absolutely.
Because everybody here is happy to share. Everybody here wants you to thrive, to be happy in both the work life and home life. And
for sure. For sure. And I think too, you were talking about like EXP Con and things like that. Mm-hmm. And just all of the agents, you get that same vibe, or I should say with at least 99% of them. We all want EXP to thrive and succeed, and we're all excited about it. And so just having that mentality and being surrounded by that mentality, that has been amazing too. So, if you have a chance to go to EXP Con, no matter what company you are with, go. It is like one of the best things you can do for your career. And even if you're not going to move to EXP, even if you're going to stay at whatever company you love, if you can attend an EXP Con and see the energy and learn all the things that we get to learn there, amazing. Yeah, it will definitely help your career. So
yeah, come check it out. Come be a spy. Wink, wink. I'm winking for those who are just listening right now, watching the video part. Come be a spy. Come take our secrets because you're going to want to lean in. You're going to want to see these connections. And you're going to be excited to see that the people here they're not trying to steal your lunch, right? They want to share it with you. They want to amp you up about this industry because rising tides raise all boats.
That's right. That's right. We all need to help each other. Absolutely. And, I think you go to one EXP Con, you're going to want more, just to warn you, because it's like an addiction. And then you're like, when's the next event? I can't wait. And, we just learn new things every time. There's just so much to tap into. So.
Really. And I had an icon agent too one time. He's like, I didn't want to come over to EXP. He's like, my buddy invited me to like a conference, right? And I was talking to these agents and they were so awesome. And I went back up to my buddy. It's like, wow, dude, what are the odds? Like almost every real estate agent I've met here is from EXP. And he's like, oh, I brought you to an EXP mastermind. Like planted that seed without really even like telling him like, hey, here's what I'm doing. And he got to fall in love with it himself. Like seeing all these people are from EXP. It's not like he was trying to heavily recruit him, but he was like, let me kind of show you a little piece of my world.
Yeah. And just come see it and experience it. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you hate it, then at least you know.
At least you know. And That's right.
On the outside, looking in, seeing the grass is greener, and kind of thinking to yourself, like, well, should I learn more? You should. You owe it to yourself to learn just a little bit more. And even EXP agents, when they get those recruiting calls, they'll go to lunch. They'll hear about other, brokerages. But here's the thing: they've yet to find one as cool as EXP, and they do this because when they first heard about EXP and they were reluctant to go over and listen, they kick themselves out because they wish they had done it sooner.
I hear that all the time.
Every podcast I hear it, Kerry. Every podcast.
Including myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known about EXP, 10 years ago. I hadn't heard of it, but yeah, definitely.
When stocks were like $6 a share.
Yes, exactly.
I really got that going. But that's okay. You're here now and it's good.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about the Icon Award, Kerry, because each market is a little different as far as prices go. So that makes production a little different. So can you tell us, the kind of production you had to do in Colorado to hit that icon, how you're giving back to the culture when it comes to the Icon Award, some of the benefits you're getting from the Icon, and what the Icon Award is in, but words from you, right? Like, don't read off the description. Tell us about your version of the Icon Award.
Yeah. So Icon in Colorado, Denver. I'm in the Denver area. So, average price points, I think median price now is around 600,000 or something like that. It's getting pretty ridiculous. But, typically I would say on average, we have that 80-20 split with the $16,000 cap. So to get to that $16,000 cap, on average, I would say that's about 8 houses a year to get to that here. Mm-hmm. So once you get to that, then you just, if you have 20 more transactions, you hit that icon, which is incredible. Again, I know I keep using these same words, but I'm like, I don't know, is there a word better than more,
I like to use the word fabulous.
Yes, like all these great things. So, and then hitting that icon was crazy amazing. Like when I moved over to EXP, I wasn't even thinking about the stocks, and it's like, oh yeah, great, you get stocks, whatever, and then I, go in, log into EXP, and you can see your stocks. I'm like, holy crap, that's crazy. I have that much stock,
And sometimes you just forget about it. I've had people forget about it. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot I have that. And then their husband's like trying to look into it because they're trying to get a house, and they're like,
yeah,
we could buy a whole lot with this. It's amazing.
Right? Oh my gosh. So that is like unbelievable. So I love every once in a while just peeking in there and see what it is. And I like those little emails that I get that say, you received a stock award, for just different little things. Because it's not just the icon, but the icon, getting back to the icon part, when you hit icon, then you're able to get that $16,000 cap back in stock. That's crazy. I don't know I see a lot of companies trying to mirror EXP and trying to do some different things. And I have yet to see one that's offering all of the things that we have. So, maybe, oh yeah, this one offers 2 or 3 things, and that's kind of like EXP, and this one's starting this. But I don't see anything that's as great yet. So
yes, there are a lot of models trying to copy us, but
there are.
It took a long time to make this model efficient.
Yeah,
and we're one of the most. I think we're actually the fastest growing brokerage in real estate at all, and we're getting to be international right now, which is huge. So anybody that's trying to copy the idea, that's great. Imitation's the best flatteration, but at the same time, the wheels already running on this thing, and you don't have to play guinea pig, which is important.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. I feel like we're always just a little ahead of the curve. I love that Glenn Sanford is always trying to do things to just keep us a little bit ahead of everybody else. And, for instance, like our managing broker here too, she's so awesome, and she's always putting on stuff for us. And last week we got to go to an event where, they flew big people, big names in to learn about, the future of real estate and how people are looking at Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and things like that, and how that's starting to come into play into the real estate market. And when you talk about mind blown, I'm like,
where was that event at, Kerry?
What's that?
Where was that event?
It was here in Denver in the Tech Center.
Awesome.
So yeah, and there was a lot of agents that attended, and the speakers were great. One was from California. She's already done like a transaction with crypto and kind of talking about that. And so I feel like we're always just kind of on that cutting edge, and they're always just trying to keep us a little ahead of the game. So it's incredible. I learned so much, and then I learned how much I really don't know about crypto and all that. I mean, it's crazy, but
Right.
they're again giving us tools and saying, here's where you can go to get certified. You can learn more. You need to meet this person. Like just constantly feeding into us, which is just amazing.
And they want you to stay ahead of the curve too. That's the thing is EXP really knows evolve or get left behind. And they give you the tools to not get left behind, but it is up to you, to show up to those conventions and to listen and to really dive in and say, instead of being like, oh, well, this doesn't apply to me, is saying, could this apply to me?
Exactly.
Could I apply myself to this?
Exactly.
And EXP has those tools laid out in a nice little belt for you. You just got to pick it up and learn, which is great.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what else we were talking about.
How do you give back culturally?
Okay, so I am a mentor. So, and I actually was a mentor before I hit Icon. So that was kind of easy for me, but that's one of the avenues that you can give back. Also, I think you can, do some instructions on classes in the world, which is awesome too. I mean, there's another benefit of EXP. Our education and classes in the world, looking at what's available every day and getting to hear other very successful agents share right in there how they do what they do, what kind of tools they use, what's worked for them, what doesn't work for them. I mean, everybody's different, but you can always find somebody that you can plug into. Maybe cold calling's not your thing, but this agent over here is talking about plugging into your sphere. And you're like, yeah, that's me. That's easy for me. I'm going to go to that class, see what they're doing. There's just so much available all the time. I mean, it gets a little overwhelming because there's just so much. You could sit and go to class all day, every day too. But just hearing all of these other successful people share, there's always something. I mean, you can look every week. There's something that you're going to be interested in. And, the virtual world too. I mean, honestly, when I first joined EXP and they're like, you need to choose your avatar. And I'm like, what the heck is this? I don't understand. I feel like I'm playing a game or something,
Yeah.
But only it did not take long. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. It's the best thing ever. And that was awesome. When COVID hit, we kept going. We didn't skip a beat. We already had our meetings online in the world every Tuesday or whatever, so we didn't have to miss anything. We didn't have to think about how we were going to revamp everything so that we could reach everyone. We didn't have to sign up for a huge Zoom account. Like we already had it figured out. So it was just so easy. So again, just that technology of EXP, always trying to stay ahead and keep you ahead of the curve. We totally were, because I saw other, companies scrambling, trying to figure out how they were going to keep things going. And now we can't meet in person. And what are we going to do? And EXP was just like, we got this. We're good.
Tuesday.
Just another day for us. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. Kerry, for the newbies, you said you're a mentor. A lot of people reach out to you. They think you're cool. They think that you know what you're doing. And as an Icon agent,
I make it look that way.
That's all that matters, right? Fake it till you make it, and you have.
Yeah.
So for newbies watching, right, they could be new to the EXP world. They could be new to real estate and EXP. What would you advise them about reaching the Icon Award? Is that something obtainable for them in their first year? What kind of benchmarks should they lay out and realistic expectations to achieving that?
I think 100% it's attainable in your first year. You can do anything you put your mind to. You really can. So it just depends on what you want to put into it. It's just like anything. You get out of it what you put into it. So if you're putting in a lot of time and effort in your real estate business, I really believe activity breeds activity. It comes around, things happen. I mean, you can't just sit on your couch and wait for deals to fall in your lap, because that probably won't happen. But, if you want to attain it, absolutely. And I would say, you want to hang out with people that are successful, because, the people you hang around shows you what your future is. So just being around all those people that are wanting to do events, that want to be active in real estate, that are, reaching out to people, getting deals done, hang out with them, see what they're doing, see what their day is like, and they're not watching TV all day. They're not scrolling Facebook all day. They're doing things and making it happen. So if you want to make it happen, you can absolutely make it happen.
But lean into your mentors, make sure you're picking the right people to surround yourself with, because like you said, they're not binge watching their favorite Netflix show, although they can time block for that.
They can. If they want to use that for their personal time, absolutely.
As long as it's in your schedule, okay. But yeah, like you said, they're not easily distracted. They've got their eyes on the prize. Surround yourself with people like that. It is obtainable. There are going to be benchmarks. There are going to be weekly goals you need to hit. But break it down, little pictures.
Exactly.
Add the puzzle of the big piece.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Great. And Kerry, this brings me to my last question. We kind of talked on it earlier of people being, suspect of it, and they're on the fence and they see the greener grass, but they're like, EXP's a cult. EXP's crazy. I don't know why these people are making a jump. What's going on? I'm not going to do it. And, what would you have to say to somebody listening right now that's on the fence, but they've got all those, negative things thrown at them and kind of blurring their vision of the model here?
Yeah. I think, for me, I would just say, maybe if you're on the fence, attend some of the events. Go to some of probably somebody around you is having some EXP agent events. We're not monsters. We're not going to attack you and try to recruit you. And, just come have fun and hang out and kind of see what that culture is. Or whoever you're talking to about EXP, get a day pass in the world and go into the world and see what that's like, and see what those, icon agents are talking about and what their tips and tricks are and secrets that they're sharing, and just kind of really tap into it and see. There's no pressure. There's no like I said, we're not going to attack you. People aren't going to be smothering you, because it may or may not be for you. But I would say definitely if you're on the fence, you need to really check it out. I'm a firm believer in, I don't make a decision unless I get all the information. How can you make a really good decision if you don't have all of the information and you don't have the facts? Because you need to know all this stuff. So check it out and don't be afraid to hang out. Not only that, but in this market that we're all experiencing all over the United States that is just crazy competitive, what better way? I mean, we're doing all these agent events and we're inviting agents from all companies, not trying to recruit them to EXP, but just showing them hey, we want to collaborate with you too, because you never know, I might be bringing you a offer on your listing, and it'd be great if I already knew you and we had that relationship, or you might be bringing me one. It's good to, rub elbows with all those agents and create relationships. And so, but I would just say hang out a little bit at an EXP thing, see what the culture's like, see what the agents are like, before you, decide which way you're jumping. So.
Right. You don't know what you don't know. And these EXP events, you're going to, come into an EXP event, you're going to take away some information you didn't have earlier anyway, whether it be about the company, whether it be about the industry, yourself as a real estate agent, work-life balance, whatever it is, you're going to learn something. So you might as well attend, because there's nothing to lose there.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Come out, hang out and have fun.
And that's all it is, really. Learn a little bit, work a little bit, rub some elbows, and see what happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Kerry, those are all my questions. Is there anything else that you would like to touch on? I think this has been a fabulous episode, great energy, and it makes me excited to catch up with you at EXPCon and Shareholders, which is coming up.
Yeah. Definitely. I would say the only thing that I didn't touch on that has been a big deal too was the revenue share, and not profit share, completely different. One of my agents was just talking to an agent the other day that has profit share, and she's like, I got my check and it was $1.74. And I'm like, oh my goodness. This is the difference. Really, if you're thinking about EXP, really talk to somebody about all of the, it's not just a recruiting company. Like we've been talking about, there's so many things. And revenue share for me is just a bonus, and then it's you have these agents that you love to work with, and then it really does work. You look at your bank account, you're like, what's that deposit? Oh yeah, it's the 22nd of the month. And some of my agents sold houses. It's amazing, So that's another very, very exciting thing. And another thing that EXP offers that most companies do not. So. Yeah.
Right. Learn about all the assets that EXP has to offer you, because, revenue share, profit share, they sound like the same thing, whatever, there's all these companies offer that, but not quite in the same way that EXP presents it to their agents. Their agents really come first here, which is really unique about the company, and learn more about it.
Yeah.
Again, reach out to Kerry. If you have questions and you're listening right now, That's the point of this podcast is you should feel like you're Kerry's best friend now.
Yeah.
And that you can reach out to her. And I mean, please, she sounds so intimidating, I'm sure. That's on her face and all the laughing we've been doing. But reach out. She's not going to kidnap you. She's not going to attack you. And ask questions.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. And I'll preach that. you know?
Yeah, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to answer questions. And, feel free to reach out to me. Would love to hear from you.
I love that too. And Kerry, if you ever want to do a spinoff episode and talk a little more about, things you've learned or maybe things you'll be teaching or focusing on with your mentees, let me know. And you're always welcome back on the show.
Awesome. Would love to.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Kerry, and expect to be hearing from me before EXPCon and shareholders because we're going to get connected out there.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Sounds good, Kerry. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Okay.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.